What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Nate Campbell here all the way live at Experience The Galaxxy with Nate Campbell. Been a while, guys. We've been doing some studio stuff with the computers and the phones, and I just been all over the place. And as you very well see, we're gonna talk about one of the places I've been.
It's a slow news day, my friend.
Oh my gosh, this is a big one. Okay, we're gonna get to the national news. We're gonna talk about John McCain passed away. He was a boxing guy, but he was a lifetime Republican. I didn't agree with him on most stuff. I really didn't agree. I agree with him that we needed a body that governed boxing, but I definitely did not believe that we needed U.S. government to come in and do it, because as you very well tell, U.S. government comes in, boy, everything gets rickety. But NFL is doing good, baseball is doing good, basketball is doing good, so I thought that if they ran it like that, it'd probably be okay. But then there's a horrible shooting today in Jacksonville. I think so far, at last count I heard, it was 4 shot dead and 11 injured at last count. Right here at Jacksonville Landing, which is in my hometown. I grew up. I used to work in the Jacksonville Landing. I was 16 years old. I worked at the Fudgery. I left the Fudgery and went upstairs and worked at Euro Rep, which is spelled Gyro. And so I want to send my condolences out to all the families, and I want everyone to, reach out to your family and check on them and make sure they're okay. Make sure they're fine. Make sure they're okay, because there's no telling who was in that situation. But the big news that happened this weekend in my life, more than anything, was I was sitting ringside when a fighter that I went to work his corner walked out of the ring. Just got up, walked out of the ring, and I am still in shock, awe, and amazement about this. I don't particularly get why he did it, because it wasn't about money, and if it was, he should have addressed that before he even got on the plane. I can't speak to his psyche. I cannot speak to his mental well-being. I cannot speak to those things, because that's not my designation. Now, my daughter, one of my daughters is a psych major. I'm sure he'd be a case study, the case study that everybody wants. But I can't speak to it, because I'm not lettered in any studies, other than the fact that he lived in my house, and I thought his cheese had slipped off the cracker many a morning. Yeah, I did. He done some stuff that was borderline crazy. But we forgive our friends and family when they do stuff like that, and we have to. I just want y'all to I can't tell people how to respond to him, but I can tell people that what he did was disrespectful. It was malicious, well thought out, well planned. He already knew what he was gonna do before he did it. I was not aware of it. I was in the dark. I was more in the dark than anyone around the ring. And when he did it, somebody sent me the picture of my face when he did it. It's like, dude, flies could have used my mouth for a garage. You could have literally bought me cheap. You could have bought me for the loose change in my pocket, because I was right for the picking. But I want you guys to watch this video and tell me what you guys see. I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock. I'm still flabbergasted by the whole thing. I wasn't paying his face any attention. All those tongue licking and the
weird stuff he was doing.
I wasn't aware of that, because I was busy, mentally preparing for a fight that we had to have. He knew what he was getting paid before he even walked in the building. He had a contract. He kept looking at the contract. His issue was that, I'm gonna tell you what I know. His issue is that because he feels like, because he fought Chris Ariello like 2-3 years ago, and he made what he made for that fight, that he should always make that for a minimum. But you got to win fights, and He's only had 2 fights since then, one of which he was stopped in the first round, and the next fight he fought a journeyman and struggled with that guy till he stopped him. But you guys we gotta stop. Look, this isn't me being salty, because I could be salty and throw a whole lot of stuff out there, but I'm not. But what this is me being is real. This game is what it is. This game is what it is. You guys want to call me and we can discuss this? Call me at 904-302-7220. Lines are open, and we can discuss this. You can ask any question you want, and I'm definitely going to answer it to the best of my ability. Some things I just have to tell you I don't know, but most things just about everything else that I know, but everything I do know I will tell you the truth about. I want to make this abundantly clear. I need to make this abundantly clear. I would never be a part of anything like that knowingly. I just would never do it. And I'm sick of people saying that they were going to take 75% of his purse away. That's a lie. I saw his contract. I talked to the matchmaker. I talked to the other people in the camp over there. They had his check drawn up. They even had a $300 check drawn up for the receipts he brought in for the medicals. And he didn't. And I mean, they just wanted him to fight. He felt like he was supposed to get more money than what he was getting, but he was fighting a 5-0 guy. You fighting a 5-0 guy, and you making $6,000 for a guy that's 5-0 for a 6-rounder. That was more money than I made. I didn't make the first time I made $5,000 straight up and down. I was fighting on ESPN. I fought a guy in my 10th fight.
$1,000 a round is premium.
Premium for a 13-5 guy.
Yeah.
Who hasn't had a solid win. A real win against anybody, bro. That's better than.
Did they pay him?
No.
They held his check.
They held his check. That meant I didn't get paid, so I lost time from my clients and what I do. And it was I'm like, dude, y'all gotta get it. Y'all gotta get it. I got phone calls coming in. Like my guy Craig is calling me on my cell phone right now, and I wish Craig could call me at 904-302-7220. And the saddest part about it is, this guy's been tripping about money for a long time, but you only get. Hello, somebody's on?
Yep, go ahead.
How you doing? Who's there?
Hey, it's Doodle Brown. What's up, Champ?
Hey, girl, what's going on?
Oh, man, I couldn't believe it. I saw that shit the other night, bro. I was like, what is happening?
You know what the sad part about it is?
I saw your face, bro. I was like, he is in shock.
I was lost. You could have bought me cheap. I'm telling you, could have bought me for the coins in my pocket. And I didn't have, look, I started trying to rationalize this whole thing. I said, maybe he got used the bathroom. Maybe he left his phone unlocked and his girlfriend got it in the back. Maybe he didn't put his cup on. I started making
Sorry about that.
Kind of messy. I started trying to reevaluate what was going on. I was in shock up until I heard the commissioner say, if you don't get him back here in 1 minute, I'm suspending him indefinitely.
Well, he was already a minute down the road. He was already in the other.
They sent me to get him. And
That's crazy.
As I'm walking the same route back that he walked out, all I can remember people saying was "boo." I'm like, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm sorry.
What did he say when he got in there?
Man, they gonna respect me. They gonna pay me when I'm supposed to get paid. I'm like, dude,
you getting nothing now.
You ain't got no gig at home. I mean, you need this money.
Did you remind me about Mike Tyson when he bit Holyfield's ear? They held that purse.
What they gave him?
$30 million they held.
Yeah, but they gave him 27.
They took $3 million off.
Yeah,
but they held the purse. He didn't get it.
Not right away. Here's the issue: he won't get paid because there's an effort clause that's attached to every contract. If you don't put up an effort, they don't pay you. And the saddest part about it was, he believes that he's entitled to this money. I'm narcissistic about this. I mean, I don't know what it looked like on TV to you, but I was in shock and amazement. I was in awe of the foolishness that was going down. I was thinking to myself, I was like, this is some bullshitlery.
Oh, it was.
But what do you,
That's,
I don't know what from your point of view. What did you think? What did you think?
man, I was just like, he just ruined his career. I mean, that's a disgrace. You know what I'm saying? You it ain't like you knew this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he saw this big, tall African brother.
No.
with
No.
Roddy Shields.
I'm gonna tell you something.
He got scared.
Listen, I don't know if it's Phil. He is a head case, but I don't know if it's a fighting because he fought the number 4 heavyweight in the world. He fought Chris Ariello and
I watched it.
gave him all he wanted. And Chris is a way better fighter than the African kid. Chris had what, 30 something fights, 40 fights.
Sure.
Chris, he came to fight Chris. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably a flake like Tyson Fury.
And that, you know what? And the thing about it is, at this level, you want to get your check. You want to get your check. I mean, your check matters. So I'm not knocking. Look, I could go into a lot of stuff. He is a head case. He does tend to. I have to talk him through the moments and get him on in the ring, but he usually goes. And that, with that being said, I don't see fear as the motivating factor as much as another kind of mental lapse. Because fear, no offense, I done fought a lot of guys that were scary, but I always fought. You know.
Yeah, I mean, when you get hit once, that shit goes away. I've been in the ring. I get in there scared, shaking the head. As soon as I get hit, that shit go right out the window.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know what's going through that man's mind, but, you know, that's crazy. He's on national television.
I don't know about national, but I can definitely tell you. I can definitely tell you this here, with the streaming, that is international. That because people stream everything, and that is around the world. He broke the internet. I would have rather him break the internet naked. I'd have rather him been naked.
But you think they'll give him another fight? You think his career over? What's going on?
He got a better chance of getting a fight against the devil.
Yep, he might go flip burgers. That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, because people think that. I mean, look, that is a horrible precedent he is setting.
Yeah.
If he's allowed to come back.
That's the problem right there. It's no different than any other of these things. When Mike Tyson bit Holyfield's ear, it was a huge scale, but they had to listen. The last thing Las Vegas wanted to do was stop Mike Tyson from fighting. That was the last thing. They had to look. The commissioners.
Right. He was the money man.
He was the money man, man. When I was at that fight ringside, Las Vegas was the most filled I'd ever seen in my life. There wasn't a person. There wasn't a spot to move anywhere. And that's because of Mike Tyson, not because of Holyfield.
It wasn't, right.
And they had to bite the bullet and do something because you gotta
make an example.
You gotta the sport's gotta stay organized, as disorganized as it is sometimes.
You cannot have the inmates running inside.
No, you definitely can't.
And I'm telling you, you cannot.
That's right.
And that's sad part about. I'm saying it like that, not saying that but I'm like, dude, if you want to make your pay better, you gotta win fights. They're winning this fight.
Right.
Let me tell you something. My cousin is sitting over here now. Right, my cousin is sitting in the room right now. He would tell you there have been many times when I took less money and went out and bashed somebody up and said, "Now get them zeros together, get them digits right." You got something to negotiate with. You can negotiate now when you know what I'm saying? You can negotiate now, you know?
Right. It's crazy, huh? I just wonder what's going through his head now, because he's got to be hearing all this on social media. You see what I'm saying? They gonna pay him as a coward. I'm like, well, whatever he did for money, they don't know that. The Cowboys fans don't know that. They see a coward.
But you know what? But the sad part is, you got some people that are supporting this foolishness. They taking his word, and then
because they casual people. Them people ain't never fought a day in their damn life, Champ.
Right. But you know what? My daughter.
They ain't never fought a day in their life, Champ.
And I'm gonna give you one. I want to apologize because my daughters are having to deal with this because I'm being tossed in the mix as if I had something to do with that. My daughters are like, hey, wait a minute, my dad ain't where my daddy roll. We don't get down like that. We warriors around here, you know.
Right.
My name is being drug into something that, for some reason, people just ain't getting. We don't do it like that.
Uh-huh.
Not in this
I
city.
don't know why they would blame the trainer.
Oh, even worse. You know, me and Anthony Durrell, me and Anthony Durrell, were having a conversation. We were joking each other after the fight. He had a lot of firepower because he had all the firepower. Have another call coming in. I'm gonna have to let you go.
I muted it. I stopped it.
I'm gonna call you. Hey, thanks for calling in, lady.
All right, thank you.
All right, man. Somebody else calling in.
Yeah, just can't kill that stupid Skype sound. But
Are they in yet?
no, they'll call back. I'll put the number back up.
Go back. Whoever that was, give me a call back. Yeah, but like I say, you can't. I can't have. I like the phone ring. You cannot have. You cannot have the inmates running the asylum.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough about how dangerous that is. If he gets away, listen, that commission's not going to let him get away with it. He's going to be suspended for the commission, unified commission. They're going to suspend him throughout, and I don't, that's something that might be an offense that is not
forgivable.
Not forgivable.
And I think somebody's
No.
on. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Who's online?
This Fred, Nate.
Hey, Fred.
Big Fred.
What's going on? Shaylon, what's going on, baby?
Man, I'll fight that joker right now.
Fred, hey, Merk. Freddie Bell's on the line.
Man, I need that money right now. I need it right now.
Freddie Bell said he
Man,
won't.
you give me... Man, listen, that dude, he ain't nothing, man. He just tall with the right hand.
And you
Kurt could have beat him, man.
Of course, but you know what? If you having this conversation, you know what I'm saying? If you having this conversation with him, evidently he don't believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. Dog, Kurt could have bashed that man.
But
Kurt could have bashed him, broke him in every which way possible.
But you know what? That all sound good. If you believe that. You believe that, but does he? And I mean, I'm not knocking.
Wow.
I'm not knocking. I had to apologize to Ronnie Shields, to the kid Efe Ajagba. I had to go and apologize to them. As a matter of fact, we all get along real good. Ronnie trained Juan Diaz when I fought Juan Diaz for the world title. Broke his ankle in the hotel. And Ronnie's a stand-up guy. I have his number. I know his wife Mona. Me and Ronnie go to a charity every year. I look forward to seeing him. He's one of my favorite trainers. I think he's an outstanding trainer. I knew I had to deal with that, but I knew that Kurt had the skills and tools to win the fight. But at the same time, the mental aspect that to do that shows mental fragility. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be. You can't be fragile mentally when it comes to boxing. You gotta be. You gotta have a warrior spirit. But Fred, you say you're fighting?
Man, listen, I got money right now. I'm trying to start this business up. I need that money right now, and I beat him. Check Cook overhand right. He going to sleep. Left, right, good night.
On the broadcast was Virgil Hunter and Jamel Charlo, which
Jamal, yeah.
He slipped up. I listened afterwards, and I recorded it a bunch of times, and all this afternoon with all the stuff that was going on. He slips up. He says, "I can't believe he said this." I think I have it on this other clip. We'll play it later on.
I think I know what you're talking about, too.
He said, he could have just gone in there and thrown the fight. That's exactly what he said.
He could have.
No, he said take a dive. He could have gone in and took a dive. That's just not the thing you say on a broadcast.
But the thing about it, at that point, that would have been better than what he did. He'd have got paid for one, and what's the worst that could happen? 30-day suspension?
Yeah, but listen, man, if you're going to be batshit crazy, that's the batshit crazy movement. At least you went 100% in on batshit crazy. Only thing missing was the wings and hanging upside down. That fucking shit was crazy. That was
I never thought
Oliver McCall.
I never thought. No.
Listen, if you're going to be batshit crazy, go all out, man. Don't do some half-ass shit. Get in the ring and slip and fall or something.
But I really
walk out, man.
Hey, Fred, I really believe that Curtis needs a psych evaluation after that. I mean,
Well, they probably were gonna. They'll probably order that. That's the first thing they're gonna order.
Right, a psych eval.
Is he still there in Minnesota, or did he come
No,
home?
they let him come home because I thought they was gonna revoke his ticket. I thought they were gonna revoke that ticket. I really did.
Jeez.
Fred, what were you saying?
That see what I was confused. You know me. I know you wouldn't be a part of that. And for somebody to blame and say that Nate had something to do with it, y'all full of it.
They don't.
Y'all full of it.
You know me, but you know me.
Nate for a long time. Nate will never be a part of something like that. Though.
Yeah, well,
I'd have stayed in the back.
his quote was that Nate was too interested in going to see Prince's house or
I
whatever.
sure was. I sure was.
What's the matter with that? You
I
going
sure
there
was.
for?
After the fight, I sure was. After he fought, I was going to Prince's house. I was going to definitely go to.
Is it like a museum or something?
Yes, like a museum. I was going to go over, but that has nothing to do with my doing my
Yeah,
job.
yeah, I don't understand how one has anything to do with the other.
But hold on, Nate. Did he know he was fighting Efe Ajagba?
I think so.
Did he know? Like before he even got to Minnesota.
Yes, he did.
Before the weigh,
Did
he know he was fighting Efe?
They didn't spring this on him. He had the contract. He knew what his name was. He told me who it was. See, the problem is this here. Yeah, because he called me. He called me on at last minute to go with him. See, here's the problem, and I'm gonna explain something to you. I know who made that statement. His fat wife made that statement. That's who made that statement about me going to Princess, and I tell her to her face that what I do after my job is done is my business.
Were you training him or what?
I didn't train him for the fight. I just came
Where
and
did
worked
he
his
train?
corner. He said he had been working out over with somebody else that couldn't go. Okay,
Is he always kind of fat like that with the titties?
dude. Curtis got down to 229 pounds.
How much was he in there?
254.
Yeah, he was pretty big.
So evidently, if somebody else was training him, they did a damn poor job. Now we took the fight with Chris Ariello on 10 days' notice. He had to get in shape and do all those things in 10 days. He did the kind of he fought the kind of fight with Chris Ariello from training with me. And he wasn't in the best physical shape, but he was in condition to go rounds.
How long? What was this fight? 6 rounds?
6 rounds. He fought an 8 rounder with Chris Ariello. 6 rounds. I do 6 rounds in my sleep.
Yeah.
You've seen me go 6 rounds the first day, Fred.
Yeah, it's fun.
In sparring, 6 rounds the first day in the gym. I come to the gym. I get to the gym on Saturday. I spar on Monday.
And drop somebody.
And we'll drop somebody. We'll overhand or body shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4-minute rounds we fought. We sparred 4-minute round, 30-second rest.
Rounds. We had 4-minute rounds then.
Yeah.
Sure did.
And so what I'm saying is, let's get this established, man. I would never have anything to do with this. And then for him to make the statement about he worrying about what I'm gonna do after the fight, that ain't your business. You need to get
They ain't got nothing to do.
dude.
They ain't got nothing to do.
I would gamble all night before I fought and still go out and stop somebody. Don't let me go. And that's a running joke. Am I lying, Merk? That's a running joke. You know where he is. If he ain't in this room, he's down at the tables. So
go to the Hard Rock real quick.
Hard Rock real quick on you, baby. But I'm going to do my job. The problem is, what a man does, we got to get away from these fighters. These new school fighters make more excuses than a man going to jail. As a matter of fact, a guy stepped over and tried to talk to him. One of the managers would say, man, I can get this fixed. Then he went and talked to Curtis. That man said, man, I can't help him. Can't nobody help him. There's no help for him. So people need to stop making excuses for what happened. He did it. He got to wear it. I had nothing to do with it. So I'm not throwing him under the bus like he did me, but I want him to know the bus coming. So I'm bumping the horn. Bump, bump. Yes, you in this by yourself. And this has nothing to do with me.
Listen.
I'm not snitching. This is just me being real.
Listen, Kurt. Hey, Kurt, if you're listening, dog, you bullshitting with that one, dog. You know I fucks with you a long way, bro. You could have beat Efe Ajagba. He ain't shit. His chin is high as a giraffe pussy. He could have been Kurt could have beat him, man. And Kurt know better than that, man. He know what was in the contract. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's confusing, and it's kind of sad to see a man go out like that.
It is, because he could
It's-
he just has really made it well at 30 years old. At 30 years old with a 13-6 record with this on his tab, who wants to deal with this?
Well, that's probably it for his career, wouldn't you think?
You know what?
Yeah, because he's the scariest kind of guy.
Right, because you don't know what to expect.
Because if that happens, you could. I mean, imagine if you're a guy.
If he was the main event.
Imagine if you're a small promoter. You're like Christie. You're doing a fight, and this guy's your opponent for your 8-0 guy, and that's your main event. You got an arena full of people,
And he
walks out. You're going to be refunded money to people, man.
Fight
you're
over.
going to be you're going to be handing money to people.
Say you got a jam-up card. You put 8 good, solid fights on. All of them was good.
Yep.
You had 2 knockouts, but everything else went the distance in a barn burner. He don't fight. Guess what you just lost?
You just lost everything.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you what somebody told me. He can't even train a fighter no more. He couldn't come bring a fighter as a trainer.
You should go hang out with Panama Lewis.
Yeah, he got a better chance. He has a better chance of growing taller than he does of getting another fight at this point. And everybody like, Nate, man, you shouldn't do. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I tell the truth? The truth will hurt only one person. The one that did it. Now, he has from what I heard, his spouse told somebody he has several paid for interviews coming up. Why? Why do you want to hear what he has to say? Fred.
Yeah.
Why would you want to hear what he has to say?
I'm curious. I honestly, he got to he got to say something. He got to say something. He got to say something.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this here. Whatever he says, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta say something. And whatever else he says.
I can't throw you under the bus. Hell no.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
No.
did.
Does he
Hell
have
no,
Does he
don't do
have
that.
that much money that he can just give up a $6,000 payday like it was nothing? I mean,
No.
that's painful.
No.
Not to mention you didn't get paid. Was he kept paying you out of his purse? Or
Yeah.
was the promoter?
Yeah.
The promoter
No.
didn't give you?
No, I didn't get paid.
Jesus Christ.
And the thing about it was that people don't get. I lost. He's like, oh, anybody who knows me knows. Merk, my cousin Merk knows. I've never left a credit card for a room. I always say I don't have a credit card.
Yeah. You shouldn't,
Right.
because they just charge it.
And I bought a credit card just in case, but I bought 2 credit cards. But I gave them the one that had nothing on it. There you go. And somebody like, you didn't even have $30 for the room. I had a pocket full of money. I don't go anywhere broke. I'm no fool. Because if push came to shove, I could have went and got another hotel. That's for
Because
darn
that
sure.
might happen.
Yeah, with the way he carried.
Yeah.
Don't know if I trust him that much. But anybody who really knows me knows what it is with me. I carry cash. I'm a cash guy.
You're DK, man.
Yeah, I'm a cash guy. Me and Don King got along so good.
Yeah.
And so I went in one pocket and pulled out like 60 or 80 bucks. I'm like, how much y'all want me to? Like, it's gonna be $30 a day. I'm like, $30 a day. I made them call Chico. Chico came down and signed for my room. He made Curtis sign for it. I said, dude, you ain't got to get your credit card up. You better stop doing that. Y'all better stop doing that. They want you to come fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take it out the purse.
Right.
My thing is simple. You don't do that. But for some reason, they don't get Curtis don't get it. They don't get it. This is business. This is real business. People had a lot of money riding on that. That room was you see the chairs that was empty? All those people were standing up on the sides. You really couldn't. If everybody sat down, you probably would have had about 500 or 600 people standing around. That place was packed. And the seats you saw missing, those people were up getting stuff. They were up walking all over the arena. If I show you a picture of that building was packed.
Yeah, I saw that picture. I saw that picture.
You saw the picture, the black and white picture I showed? It was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looked pretty full.
So you imagine him being in somebody's, you know what I'm saying? imagine if somebody was waiting for the main event and you were it. Caleb
Wow.
Truex fought the main event. And his guy went 3 rounds, but he fought and got paid. And the guy that fought, Caleb Truex, didn't make much more than what Kurt was getting paid.
Is that the biggest payday Kurt's gotten?
Curtis got the biggest payday when he fought Chris Ariello.
How much did he get for that?
I think $30,000.
30 grand. Really?
But
Who paid him that?
same company, but he was coming in against the number 4 guy in the world.
Yeah.
You coming in against a guy that's 5-0.
But how did that fight? Was that fight televised?
That was one of the fights of the year.
It was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Was this the fight like after Stavern?
Yes.
It was like the fight,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
a comeback fight for
Yeah.
him, right?
Yeah.
After Stavern,
Right.
Yeah, I did see that.
It was
That's
a
what
good
I knew.
fight.
I knew I'd
Curtis
seen
got
Curtis
dropped
Harper.
in the first round, got up. I talked him through it. He went out and fought a bang-up fight. But the problem is he ain't been right since then. He had an injury.
Really?
He had an injury, then he started talking crazy. Now he's doing crazy stuff in public.
He looked crazy in the ring.
And everybody is mad at me for saying it. But dude, you threw me under the bus and now you want me to sit back and just wear it. Why? Why would I wear it? A friend of mine, Sean Bombaro, started a GoFundMe page so I could revamp some of the money I lost. Well, I said, no, don't do it because I know he's going to get on the page and say something derogatory.
And he did.
And he did. And the sad part about it is, I didn't ask Sean to do it, but people who know me know me. Kurt, and the sad part about it is the woman that Curtis is with is pushing him up to do some silly stuff. I fed Kurt.
See?
I've invested more money in Kurt than she has. And so for him to come,
Who's this woman?
oh, that's his new wife.
I don't think I've seen her.
No, he probably hiding it from me. She like Sumo Russell.
So she at the fight?
Yeah, that was her recording right down there in front of me. She had fat fingers.
Oh, I saw her.
Oh, you crazy.
I'm throwing dirt now. I'm being ugly now because for them to come for me, I roast. You know how I get back. I roast. I've always roasted. That's what I do. So for you to come for me, and I've been nothing but good for you, but first of all, you could have said, Coach, don't come out here. I'm walking to the ring by myself. I'm going to do something. I don't want you to be a part of it.
Wow.
That would have been, if you care anything.
Yeah, what would you do? What would you have done if he'd said that?
I'd have talked them out of it. I tried to. I'd have tried to. I don't want to talk to somebody else. I don't want to talk to the matchmaker, somebody, and saw we could have fixed it. Cause dude, this man was gloved up for 45, 50 minutes. He had already
Thinking about it.
Yes, he knew what he was gonna do in that ring.
Yeah, he did.
When I looked at this film, I'm like, he knew what he was gonna do, man.
I told my mom about it. You know, my mom, she loved you, Nate.
Yeah.
I told my mom, she said he should have just stayed home. If he knew that, she said he need help for real.
He does.
Said if he knew he was going to do that, he should have just stayed home.
He is.
Why even? And I told her where the fight was. I say the fight was in Minnesota from Jacksonville. Say, oh, he crazy here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. He is definitely gonna be donkey of the day. He will get donkey of the day without a doubt. If he don't get donkey of the day, somebody is. Boy, look here, he is donkey of the day. I'm gonna be up in the morning and listen to the radio just so I can hear him say, he on. He is donkey of the day. He is a meme, dude. He is a meme.
Yeah, he
already. I got another call coming in, Fred. Thank you for calling.
All right, no problem.
Just tell him to call right back.
Whoever just called, give me a call. One more, give me a call right back. 904-302-7220.
The new version of Skype, they took the ability for it not to ring to come out, so that's what happened. Okay.
All right, who goes there?
Hey, this is Nate.
Who?
Nate.
Nick. Hey, Kurt's baby's mom.
Yep.
Oh wow. Oh, and here we go. How you doing, lady? This is Nick. This is Curtis Harper's, the mother of his two twins, who can tell you that
Allegedly.
yeah, I'm not getting in that. Now I'm gonna stay out of that, all the way out of that. She said allegedly because there's, how old are the twins?
9.
Twins
They're
are 9. The twins are 9, and I've known about the twins all of Kurt's, all of the time they've been alive. I've known of the twins. I've seen them since they were little kids. They've been in the gym with us. And Neat, what has happened as of late with that?
Woo. He petitioned me for a paternity test. Me and his wife got into it in June. When I saw Kurt in June, he was so fit. I can't even believe what I saw on TV.
He was so fit.
Like, he was fit.
He was
in shape.
He was 229.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you wanted him back, Neat. That's what it was. I'm telling you, wanted him back.
Who? Me?
I'm throwing dirt on you right now. Yeah.
No, sir. Not with somebody else. I wouldn't. If somebody else offered me to give him some loving with their stuff, I would say no.
Oh, wow.
So, no, that's not an excuse.
Man.
I'm appalled at what I saw. I can't even believe it.
You know, and the sad part about it is, I've been knowing this kid since he was a teenager. I've always known Kurt. I knew him since the day he walked in the gym. And I just don't understand it. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it.
He's been doing a lot of mentally unstable things lately, as of short, for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and
I mean, but you know that.
Yeah, I know. You
remember the last time me and you had a conversation? I told him, hey, I told you actually.
Yeah.
You remember he told you I was crazy?
Yeah.
And I said, listen, don't trust this man. You can't trust him. I had to learn the hard way. You can't trust him. He's not reliable. He's not trustworthy.
Should have had that discussion with the promoter last week.
Yeah, we should have.
Nate, y'all should have called me when he walked out of the ring. You know I get him together.
Baby, it wasn't no getting together for that one. I mean,
I would have said, listen,
then
you got 3 kids. And I know if you take care of the girl kids like you take care of mine, which is non-existent, then you need that money that you out here walking away from.
Right, and the sad part about it is, she. I mean, I think that the woman he's with is a crutch. She enables that kind of behavior. And
you have no idea.
And
I think she's mentally unstable as well.
I can go for that.
And I'm not just saying this just to say it.
I can go for that, but the thing about it is, what I'm simply saying is, to do that on national TV, I never would have believed it. I don't know. I know you wouldn't. I knew you wouldn't.
To do it, period.
Yeah, I don't think.
I
don't think. I knew you wouldn't have done that. I just don't believe. You couldn't tell me he was going to do that. I mean, but you know him better than I do. So when it comes to whatever,
I feel ashamed on behalf of my kids, embarrassed even. Like, I'm so happy they're young and they don't know what's going on right now. But I know it's going to get to that age where they're able to look up stuff on the internet, and you know what I mean. They're able to do all of these things without correct.
And no offense,
government.
All you gotta do is
they're gonna find out, and it's embarrassing.
All you gotta do is look. He broke the internet. He broke the internet.
He did.
He literally broke the internet. He was the most talked about topic over the last 2 days.
Yeah, it's pretty viral,
and it's embarrassing.
It is, and I'm sorry, but I'm sorry for the kids. And I mean, if you read what I wrote, I said he embarrassed himself. He embarrassed his family. I'm looking at, it's 261,000 results as of now. And it's not getting better. You know, 261,000 results. That means that many sites, that many places, that many times it's been put down.
That many tweets.
That many tweets.
Talked about, reshared.
Yeah, no.
That reacted to everything. That's crazy.
Now you gotta take into account that times 10 on the minimum, right?
Well, it's never going to leave the internet.
Yeah, boy,
I
the
mean,
the internet is undefeated.
It is.
It is undefeated. Internet is undefeated. And how do you? So how are you dealing with this with the kids?
I mean, I don't really know how to deal with it, just to be honest. I just spoke with his attorney or someone from his attorney's office earlier this week when he had them reach out to me in reference to wiping his child support arrears to zero. And I was just like, what's going on? Like, he doesn't really, me and him don't really converse. We don't have a good open line of communication because of the crazy stuff he's done in the past. So I just try to stay away from it, you know what I mean? Hoping that it'll just pass. But it just seems like since he's gotten married, it's just gotten worse. Like, terrible. Like, he's not mentally fit to do anything, in my opinion. Like, you need to have a psychological evaluation. He need to be on some type of meds, in my opinion, because he acts erratically.
Case in point, Friday night.
Thanks, Nick, for calling. Whoever's calling in, give me 2 minutes and call back. But at this point, all I can do is wish you the best and hope that you guys can straighten this out. And far as you wanted your son in the box, you know, I still train him. I still train him. I don't have any. I don't have to train the kid. I don't have to talk to him to train your son. So you know how to get in contact with me, Nick.
10-4. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.
You too. So I'm not the only one. See, and me and her we've spoken once before. I think we spoken when he took my car. I went to her house looking for him. He had been driving past our house all day with my car.
Jeez.
Erratic behavior. This was 2 years ago.
Did any of that come from the boxing, you think? Getting hit too many times, or did it happen after a fight?
I've been hit a lot, but I ain't as crazy as him. I mean, whoever just call back 904-302-7220. Lines are open.
Yeah, well, that ain't the only thing going on in Jacksonville.
No, it ain't. This is just the biggest thing. This is bigger than the biggest thing in my life, which one of the biggest things in the world. I just happen to be attached to it because I didn't want to be. I had to do this show because I want to let people know what my I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I'm like Shaggy. It wasn't me.
Yeah, well, why? I mean, why would his trainer or his cornerman ever? What would you know? Why would they ever do that?
He actually believed that. He told the man, "I stayed in the ring for 1 second. The bell rang, and at the bell rang, I should get paid." And they had to explain to him. I said, "Dude, you do know that there's an effort called." If he just said something to me, I'd explain to him. You do know you got to at least put up the effort.
Well, now he knows.
Yeah.
All he had to do was go one round, sit down on the stool, and say,
and
"I
not
quit."
get up.
Yeah, that's all he had to do. And throw some punches. How good is that kid that he was fighting? Any good or not?
5-0, 5 knockouts, but he ain't never fought nobody. But here's my thing, dude. If you beat him, you do the worst thing to that promoter that you could have done. You shattered his investment.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a whole busket.
When I beat Matt Zegan in Chicago,
yeah,
Don King had to do what? Don King had to pursue me. Don King had to then pursue me.
Yeah, I do remember that.
He had to pursue me because I became number one in the world.
Yep. Well, you pretty much exposed Matt Zegan. Did he continue to fight, or what?
He fought one more time after that, but he got stopped by a guy that wasn't a puncher. Damian Fuller stopped him, and Fuller was no puncher. Fuller was a decent. Good.
Wasn't Zegan from like some
Poland,
Kazakhstan?
Poland.
Oh, Poland. Oh, that's right.
He's in politics now.
Oh, really?
So our problem is, man, here's my issue. We can do so much if we just believe in ourselves. And I think that there was a lack of belief in himself, and I also believe that his anger with the promotional company or whatever played into whatever mindset he was in.
Okay, so let's go back over it. What happened that got this guy so angry about the promotion?
He's like, they don't respect me. They're not paying me what I'm worth. I'm like, dude, they're paying you what the fight pays. You're fighting a 5-0 guy.
Yeah, but what point did he start saying that?
He said it on a plane, going over there.
So he just started thinking about it.
Right.
Well, where'd he come up with the brilliant idea to spend 1 second in the ring and then get out? He's been around boxing enough. He's never seen that stuff.
I took him on a walk. I had to take him on a walk that morning. It was kind of drizzly outside, but it was good enough to walk. He needed to walk to loosen up. So took him down to we walked down to the CVS, and I got some scissors, some Vaseline, Q-tips, all the things I'm gonna need for some things to stop a cut, slow a cut if it happened. And my goal was to make sure that we had a discussion. I said, dude, stop talking to me about the money you're making for this fight right now. I said, because right now the contract is, they ain't signed the contract and gave it back to me. I said, you have a signed contract. Your contract is executed. Your contract is executed. Nowhere in the world is going to let them pay you less than what the contract you have says.
Right.
I said, let me give you an example. A guy went to fight Arlie Harris. His name was Mike. I forget his last name. A white guy out of Tampa. And what happened was they offered him $10,000 to fight Arlie Harris. Is what they meant to put on the contract. But guess what they put on the contract?
What?
$100,000. So when he got to the weigh-in, got on the scale, and produced this contract. They tried to get him to sign another contract. He said, nope, this is the contract you sent me. This is one I signed. This is what I'm getting paid. They paid him $100,000 for that fight.
Who was the promoter?
Whoever had Arlie Harris at the time. Arlie Harris. Look it up. Arlie Harris. Contract debacle.
Wow. And they had to pay it, huh?
They had to pay him. The guy's out of Tampa. White. I forget him. Good look. I forget his name. He was a little bit. He was contract. Arlie Harrison, assistant president, head of contract, and how much?
Who was he fighting?
Mike. I forget his name. Oh my God, what is the guy's name? Put contract debacle. Wikipedia. Pull him up on Wikipedia. Pull up his record. Now I'm gonna show y'all. That's how it works. Keep going down. It's early in Arlie Harris's career. Mike Middleton.
Oh, at the bottom. It was like his first
fight.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, so that must have been. Let me see here.
Yep. He had to pay him $100,000 for that fight because he produced the contract. He produced that contract, and they had to give him 100 stacks, Merc. They had to give him 100 stacks.
Was it like Frank Warren or one of those guys?
Whoever had Arlie Harris had to pay that money.
It must have been one of those guys because those are the only guys with that money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a gold medalist. Arlie Harris was the gold medalist.
Yeah,
he had a huge. But Arlie Harris, they had to pay him. They had to pay him $100,000. Mike Middleton. I told you his name was Mike. Mike Middleton. Mike's a good dude, and we don't agree on that.
That was a nice bit. What were they going to pay him? $10,000?
Yeah,
for a pro debut. Was it his pro debut?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of money for a pro debut.
Yeah, but he was a gold medalist. He was the Olympic gold medalist in 2000.
Huh, all right.
So my thing is, people need to stop saying, "Oh, they were going to take money from him." If they don't show a reason to that commission why they taking money from you, they cannot take money from you. The promoters do not. The promoters can't tell you they just gonna take money from you. He knows that. You are protected by the promoter, by the commission.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when you go to get paid, Merc, who's in the room when you get paid? And the commissioner.
I paid out. How many guys did I pay out? 1,000 guys.
Easy.
But I did the Ali Act.
Right.
We did the real paperwork,
right.
Not the crap these guys do.
But
our shit was looked at in triplicate by 3 lawyers before we ever put anything down.
If you go to pay somebody, was not their commissioner in or around that area, or had they not already checked those checks and went through all your deductions?
Oh yeah. In Connecticut, the attorney general was there, and the attorney general wanted to physically handle the check before. And then when we went to California, I said to them, I forgot, what was the Hispanic guy that was the commissioner out there before the guy from Georgia took over? I forgot the dude's name. He looks kind of like
Not Raul Caiz.
Huh?
Not Raul Caiz.
No. You said the guy. He was a nice guy. So they were out there, and they go, well, we have to take the checks. I go, you got to do the Ali Act. And the guy goes, what's that? And I go, the Muhammad Ali Act, the John McCain drafted and passed. I go, it's the 13A, B, and C. You've got to do the B and C. You got to give it to the fighter. You got to read him this. And then they got to sign it off in triplicate. We sign it, you sign it, they sign it. And they go, don't worry about us. Just do whatever you got to do. I remember the commission just looking at me saying that. He looked at me and just said, you guys do whatever you need to do. I said, no problem. And everywhere else we went with those 13A, B, and C forms, people go, what the fuck is this? Go, that's the federal law. That's what you're supposed to do. The law spells it out. We're the only ones. I don't even think Golden Boy does that shit.
But the sad part about it is, for him to make that statement, I didn't want to go through the Ali Act with everybody online, but I'm going to go through it right quick. The Ali Act is supposed to protect fighters against bad promoting and people taking things from them. You have to show account as to why you're taking anything out of a fighter's purse.
Yeah, it's the only sport in the land where the promoter has to disclose his revenue, including his revenue streams. Can you imagine if the NFL had to disclose their revenue to the football players?
But the sad part about it is the Ali Act is bullshit because you don't have to do that after the fight is done.
No, the 13A, you have to submit it to the commission before.
To the commission, but the fighter don't see that.
Well, we made the fighter see it, though. We gave it to the fighter to see.
But
they read it.
Right, but most times you don't see it. 90% of the times, other than DK, you don't see it till afterwards.
Yeah.
So you can't really negotiate any better than what you're still in the dark.
Yeah.
But the sad part about it is, the Ali, even though it's BS, they still got to show him every cent and every reason they took money out of his check.
Yeah.
What for?
Well, you have to do that. I mean, that's just... Listen, I had to deal with fighter after fighter after fighter, you included.
Right.
Yours you weren't bad because you weren't taking loans out the ass, but I dealt with some guys that took shit out. That I paid Mayorga on all of his Don King Productions fights. Do you know how many times I gave him a check? 0.
He always.
I never gave him a check. I never gave him a check when he beat Corey Spinks. I never gave him a check when he fought Vernon Forrest. I never gave. When he beat. I never gave him a check for Trinidad. I never gave him a check for De La Hoya. I never gave him a check for who else? I never gave him a check one time. The dude was over his head, and every single one. they would say, "Go get him to sign it." I go, "You go get him to sign it."
Right.
I get him to sign shit, man. He's not signing anything. He's done with a fight. He's smoking a cigarette. He's not signing jack shit.
No, but and the saddest part about it is, so when these non-boxing people talk to me about Harper saying that they were going to take 75% of his purse, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, and I want them to stop saying it.
Who said that?
They've been saying it all over the internet. That was the lie he started.
He started that.
And that is a lie. That is an out and outright lie. So I want them to stop saying it because it's not true.
Where was the 75% going to? His child support or something?
I don't think they were even going to touch that. So at the end of the day, if it was 75%, it was going to be 75% less for the money he was supposed to pay to his child support.
Well, there's limits in states too. You can't get all of somebody's check. Yeah, well, I know this because of Corey Spinks. He was the one I'd get a lesson in every single time, because every time he fought, he'd catch up the whole child support. But they didn't take all of his purse. He had some pretty big purses. Right. I paid him on.
But here's the sad part about it. Here's the messed up part about it, the big issue about what all that is. I'm tired of people making assumptions as that he has a good reason for what he did. You just heard his kid's mom talk about how irrational he's been over the last few years. So I need for you guys to not get this twisted. Stop making excuses for people. If you love somebody, hold them accountable for the bullshit they've done or they do. Stop letting people off because you like them. One thing I can say about my mama would tell me about my ass on a regular basis and did not spare no change with me about it. Now, she might not done it in public. She might have to wait. She might wait to get behind closed doors and do it. But it was done. Me and my cousin sitting over there in that corner. One night he did something I did not like. I did not like it. And me and his brother chewed him out in front of the house one night. Am I lying? Because we love him enough to tell him the truth. If I can't love you enough to tell you the truth, and man, somebody tell this man the truth. Tell him the truth. I'm angry about what happened, but tell him the truth. And I told him the truth. I said, you need help. And our problem is we won't say that to one another because we're afraid that we're going to hurt one another's feelings. Hurt feelings are good, but a long life is better. So, no. I'm at a place in my life right now where, you know, I'm living out my dream, the rest of my dream as it is. But you gotta understand something, man. One thing about this thing called life. If you don't die after you do something stupid, you gotta live with that stupid thing you did. And that's where we at today.
You know, he's 13-5. It wasn't like he was
13-6.
It's not like he was Nate Petty, you know, 0-6 or something. 13-6 or 7 now, but a heavyweight with a winning record.
Can get paid.
This guy could get paid. He could Jason Gavern it for 5 more years. They'll fly him to Europe to fight any heavyweight other than, you know, any Anthony Joshua or anything.
They might take him over there for that. Joshua been picking crumb cakes.
Well, and you know how much he'd make for that?
About $1 million.
Yeah, probably $1 million they'd pay him. He could retire in crazy land with that money. Yeah. And that's the thing you know, you got to think about that shit before you do it.
And the sad part about it is, man, after it was all over, I'm like, dude, I got so much funny commentary to say about this. When I do my stand up, he was on some new dope. I don't know. He was on Molly. He was on Molly Crackeron. You know what I'm saying? Methanol. What was he on? Is what I was thinking. And so we have to be honest, man. Some things we got to just say, man, God damn, man. Really? What we doing?
Well, here's what they said after the fight.
There you have it. Hey, I didn't have to look. And my thing is, I'm the one, and everybody's like, man, the whole ride home, all we kept saying was, damn, I feel bad for Nate. Damn, I feel bad for Nate. And the whole ride home, I kept saying, damn, I feel bad for his family. Damn, I feel bad for fans. Because I'm going to be okay. But I'm like, I'm a big boy. I can wear the thing. Then I thought, shit, I hope my daughters don't get backlash. And people talking shit. My girls got to defend.
They pay the opponent? He got paid, right?
Yeah, of course he got paid.
Yeah, I mean, he stepped in the ring, right?
He came to the middle of the ring, shit.
Is he a real African guy?
Oh, he's an African from Nigeria.
Yeah. Is he like Sam Peter? Is he like, can you barely understand him?
No, he's actually well spoken. We had we joked and
he looks like a nice guy.
Nice guy. Efe Ajagba is a nice guy, and I roasted him and his whole team. We kicking your ass. I was talking mad trash. I was roasting Ronnie. I said Ronnie, we kick your ass again. I mean, you 0-2 against me. I mean, we was having a great time. And
this is the night before?
Yeah. After the weigh-in, I was walking back, you know, and it was me by myself. I was roasting this whole team. And anybody who knows me know I don't care. It's like, what? And so we had a great time. And then he goes and does this, and I got to look Ronnie in the face. And now Ronnie getting to roast me back. Ronnie said, we're going to call you Nathaniel. You don't get Nate no more. Your name is Nathaniel. But we all took it and took it kind of tongue in cheek. But man, I'm hurt. I'm hurt that the sport had to deal with that.
Yeah, that's just, you know.
We don't need it.
No, not at all. You know, hey, listen, and the only good thing about it is they had 4 pretty good fights on that card.
Actually, that swing fight came in. The swing fight was a good fight.
Well, but they were talking about those 2 guys came out too quick. They weren't even warmed up. The next fight, they didn't even broken a sweat.
I want to say it was on, who was it? Willie Monroe.
Yeah, Willie Monroe.
Willie got TV time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy for him. I mean, happy these guys got it. I like to see fighters prosper, man. And you got to pay your dues, man. Just because you got to pay your dues. And sadly enough, dude, I didn't start making real money till I was had 19, 20 fights, man. But I had all wins, just about all knockouts. I was a killer, and I just had to keep my nose to the grindstone and keep pushing.
Well, is his career done, do you think? What's the chances of it being completely done?
Well, considering he's a heavyweight, he could rebound from this. I mean, but
Well, like I said, I mean, that guy is. Can you think of a more valuable 13-5 guy than that guy at heavyweight?
yeah, I can. Somebody who's gonna fight when they get there. not
Well,
gonna pull their
okay,
bullshit.
now I'm talking about him personally. I'm talking about just a guy that's 13-5 that can punch and fight. I mean, he's got that areola fight kind of on his record. So,
But it's a loss. I mean, that's the whole point. Everybody keep acting like he beat Chris Arreola I felt like he won the fight, but on paper he lost that fight.
I got it, but I'm just saying if you're
Then
going to
he
be
got knocked out cold.
but
He got knocked out the very next fight against a guy. Pull his record up. He lost to the Chinese Olympian. He got knocked out so fast the bell was still chiming.
well, I mean, but that's
Look at the first thing to come up.
let's look at that crazy picture of him on there. They got his record updated, 13-6.
Yeah, look at the guy. Look at the guy.
Zil Zhang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, he got stopped in the first round, the first
Boca
minute.
Raton Hotel
I
Club. Who
took
did
it.
that fight? Who promoted that fight?
Nelson.
Oh yeah, Nelson from Miami.
Yeah, my boy Nelson.
Yep.
And he was like, I was gonna bring him back on the card with Nelson, but he started acting crazy again. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I'm just saying, dude. I can't. I mean, you can't just say. I mean, look at his record. Go back. Go back. I want you to see this. And you bitching and moaning about money. Hold on. They don't just give this money away. They don't just give this money away. Stop it. Okay. Let's look at his last 5 fights. Go up top. 5 fights. He beat Jamal Woods, who was an opponent, 5-13-3. Then he lost to Chris Arreola. Then he lost to Zhil Zhang. Then he beat Andrew Greeley, and Greeley gave him all he wanted. Then he lost because he wouldn't fight. So he's 3-2 his last 5. Go ahead. And look at the win streak. Let's look at this.
You beat a 15-0 guy,
Yeah.
Joshua Tufte.
Go back. Go down to go right there. Earl Latson. That's the first fight I got with him. Go back. Go down. Go on. Go right there. Stay where you are. That's good. Go back. Go down. Take that down. So right there. Stay down.
Yep.
He was on a 5-fight win streak with me. Stop listening and look what happened. His last 10, 5 of them was with me.
You think he just gave up his desire to fight?
Yeah, I mean, so you want to get paid for that? You asking these people to give you top dollar for that? There was a time when I had to come to the realization I had to make people want me. How do you do that when you fight?
Make the fights exciting.
There you go.
That's the only way.
That's the only way. This didn't do it. So anybody who mad at me for what I said tonight, hit me up. You can hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up Nate at experiencethegalaxy.com. However you want to do it, hit a brother up. You can reach out to me through my Facebook page. I check them all. I don't run from nobody. But what I will say is this: somebody like me who's thrown every dime I made, every dime I had in upfront savings behind him to see about making him a world champion. You turn around and you do the things that I was forced to have to deal with. That's bad. That's bad. I got to defend myself and my family's name. You know what I'm saying? I'm the last male in my family. I got to defend my family's name. And the Campbells don't do that. We don't get out like that. We come out to fight every night. Win, lose, or draw, we're gonna give you everything we got. That's the way we roll. Anybody who knows Nate Campbell knows Nate Campbell don't come to BS. I come to fight. Now, my showings have not always been the greatest because I'm a fighter. But I fought everybody. In 50 fights, I guarantee you got your money's worth 50 times.
I've been to a few of them.
Got your money's worth.
We did.
There you go. So in 19 fights, you telling me you want to be making the same money Deontay Wilder's making and the kind of money these other guys are making, but your record over the last 10 fights, what's his record the last 10?
Well, let's see.
7-3.
So he is 6-4.
6-4. He's a 6-4 guy.
6-5 over 11.
6-5 over 11.
Yep.
And basically you want to get paid. You want to get paid crazy loot. But nobody's speaking about it.
Listen, if he has a good showing against this guy and goes the 6 rounds.
And stops the guy, hurts the guy,
Hurts the guy. Does anything to the guy.
Next fight is 3 times that.
Yeah.
4 times that. 5 times
Then he's on a plane going to Europe, fighting where those guys will spend stupid money for heavyweights. Ask Jason Gavin. You know how much money Jason Gavrin's made being a professional heavyweight club fighter? More.
Yeah,
that dude's made more money getting the shit beat out of him.
They say Jason Gavin got it in.
He's crazy too, but that guy. Look at Jason Gavin, all the people. You know how many paydays? I know some of the paydays that dude
Jason
got.
Gavin got I know he made 6 figures on multiple occasions.
He did, because he went over to Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what this guy could have been. How old is he? How old is Curtis Harper?
30 years old.
He's 30.
Young for heavyweight.
And he had a long ways. Gavin is 27-21. Look at these guys that he fought. Look at his the last end of his career.
Look, he fought Steve Cunningham. He fought Alexander Usanov.
Lucas Brown. Moscaev. James Toney. These guys, and I don't know how much he got for Deontay Wilder.
He made good money for Deontay. Was 31-0 when he fought.
Yeah, he probably made $25,000.
25.
More?
Yeah, dude. Look, go back. Deontay Wilder, he fought in the Carson Center. Man, they had to pay that boy for that.
But look at the end of his career. And this guy was kind of nutty too.
He beat Darnell Wilson.
That's the fight we televised. That's the first LDLTV fight. He only beat Darnell Wilson because he hit him with a punch and cut Darnell's eye.
Right.
And it came spewing out. Other than that,
but the thing about it is, this guy never walked away from a fight like he did.
No, he never did. He was smart enough to stick in it though. Look at how many he had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in a row, and then he came back and fought these fights that he was fighting over there in where was this? York Hall. These fights right here. He
fought Michael Sprott.
Yeah, but I know he got paid money for those.
He got paid to fight. He got paid to fight James Toney.
Yeah. How much did he get for Wilder?
I bet he got $50,000 or better.
Probably. $50,000 after 7 losses.
Look up Deontay Wilder's record because Deontay was knocking everybody out.
He's 31-0. He was 31-0.
That was 9 fights ago. Oh, he was getting paid. He got paid to fight Deontay.
Yeah.
He got paid.
Definitely.
I like Jason. I like Jason Gavin. Gavin's an honest journeyman.
Yep.
He's an honest journeyman. And if he got a draw on his record, he beat you. Everybody he drew with, he really beat them.
Banks.
Jonathan
Zach
Banks,
Page.
yeah. But Jonathan Banks had a name.
Zach Page was another Jason Gavin with a losing record. Everybody.
Right.
He was on every other card that we had at Don King Productions. Every heavyweight that came up fought that guy.
He lost to Malcolm Tan, who was a big time amateur. So Jason Gavin ain't a bad fighter, but he ain't never walk out the building.
No. Well, he was way too smart for that stuff.
Because he was going to get his check.
Yeah.
He wasn't embittered by it.
No.
He lost to Gerald Washington. He lost Anthony. He fought Anthony Joshua, dude.
Yeah. KO. It was early, like in the first or second round or something like that. That fight was on TV.
But look, he fought.
How much did he get paid to fight Anthony Joshua? I'll bet you he got paid. Joshua was 10-0. He probably got $50,000 for that.
He was Anthony Joshua was
10-0.
I'm on the air. Anthony Joshua was Olympian, gold medalist, like Arlie Harris. So if the other guy got 10 grand to fight Arlie Harris, who wasn't deemed to be as good as Joshua,
Yeah.
imagine what he got. 10 of those, he probably got 100 grand.
Probably.
All they want to do was get light up knockouts with Anthony Joshua. So, yeah, stop telling me about how you feel. You know what I'm saying? It's not about how you feel. It's the business. The game is the business. You know what I'm saying? You got to play the business. You know what I'm saying? And the business side is what it is. If you're not winning, or if you bought in as an opponent, beat some of them guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, despite it, how you feel about this show?
That's it. It's good to me, man.
We got some nice guests calling tonight.